So, in this video, we are going to talk about the differences between digital books and printed books, and also some pros and cons of both, means digital books and also printed books. So, Assalamu alaikum, I'm Sidratul Montaha, and in this channel, we talk about real life problems we face, mistakes that we make, and the lessons that we learn from those. So, starting today's video with the point number one. First, we are going to talk about the differences between the printed books and also the digital books. So what are the differences between them? We all know, but let me explain, because this is absolutely a video which you can gain knowledge from. So the difference that we can start with is the things that we buy and we can smell after buying. Obviously, we all book lovers do this, that we smell the book that we bought few minutes back. So this thing we can do in case of printed books, but in case of ebooks we can't even smell or touch the books, or we can feel that we can't even feel that we are naturally reading that book. So this is point number one, or the differences that first of all exist between digital books and also printed books. Next, we cannot stack or pile those ebooks that we just bought on the bookshelves, but on the other hand we can stock or pile the printed books that we bought, premium or local doesn't matter, just we can stock or pile them on the bookshelves. So next, when we buy a printed book, which can be premium or local if it's available in your country, we can, while reading, we feel like we are actually gaining knowledge from those. It's a different feeling when we touch a printed book. Exactly. But in case of ebook, we don't feel like we are reading. We just scroll and read and go through, but we don't actually feel like reading, which I felt as a book reader. And then we also can't easily lend or loan the book to one of my friend or any of the relatives who want to read that specific book. But in case, this is in case of ebook, but also in case of printed books, we can easily lend them or loan or sell, however, after we read. So that's the differences that exists between digital books and also the ebooks. Let's first start with the printed books. Means we will know about the pros and cons both of the printed books. So first of all, let me tell you about myself, why I prefer printed books over ebooks. Yes, because when I go to the library to buy printed books, I actually feel like I'm a book reader or a book lover who is here to buy some some of my favorite books and to read them, and then after reading to stack or pile them on the bookshelf. So that's what goes to my mind after going to the library. So that's one thing. And the next thing is, after buying the books, I can easily take smell from the books, which is it's part of our own self. Every book reader does that, smelling the book after buying those. So that's the second thing. And then I can easily, which I actually don't do because I'm not a fond of that activity, that you can easily lend that book to your friend or any relative or any stranger who is wanting that book from you, because you are the owner of that book. And but I'm not actually fond of that activity because I really don't like lending books. I'm sorry, I'm being a bit honest, but that's the thing. But in case of ebooks, you can't easily do that, because I'll talk later about ebooks in the ebook section. And now let's just focus on printed books. And after buying books from the library, you can easily stack them or pile them in your bookshelf if you finished reading. But one thing I have seen is that people complains about that they can store books, they don't have that much of space on their house. Then sometime one thing I have also seen myself, that is printed books are a bit pricey or costly, but in my country I have seen there are local books available which can be price range between 200 to 400 level BDT. But in case of premium books, which I'm fond of I'm fond of premium books, so I usually buy premium books which ranges it can be of higher range, but the range that I follow is 1000 to 2000 I know it's been a pricey, but you can get local books if you are fond or an extreme book lover. You just focus on like reading and reading. But I personally focus both reading and also the glossy book cover, which comes on the premium books. So that's why I spend a lot of money buying premium books. And exactly, but ebooks are also pricey. I will talk that on the ebook section. But as printed books have both options, you can buy local in cheap affordable price range, but you can also buy on premium level if you are fond of both reading and also keeping or piling that book on your bookshelf because of that like beautiful glossy cover. Exactly. So that's the thing about printed books, but there are also some cons, which I have told earlier that I don't give a damn about those cons. I still love like printed books. And those cons are like, yes, people explaining that they don't have that much of spaces on their houses, or like books or piling books on their house like eats up a lot amount of space. But these days I've been saying that people also pile their books on the floors, which also looks kind of like really cool, because that's a different point of view, and that looks really beautiful when you pile the books on the floor. That looks like another type of showcase of books. So that's one thing I have seen. So yes, you can pile books on the floor if you don't have the like bookshelf. And next thing people said about the premium book or the glossy cover books, which I call, and those are a little bit pricey. You cannot afford them all the time. But as I have said earlier, you can buy the local books, or also you can read free books, which is a kind of ebook, not the printed book. Now we will talk about ebook, the pros and cons of ebook. So till like for a couple of days before, I found some points which are like the positive side of ebook, like reading ebook for me. Number one is I can like read speedily while I'm reading ebook, or I'm reading like from any of my devices, my phone or my laptop. So I can read in a speedily way, which is like as I can condense the page, like the screen of my laptop. So as a result, the book also gets condensed, and there are a short amount of words or short number of words on one page. So I can just like read and read and just get a theme or get a context of the topic. So that's one thing, one positive thing I have found out, which in case of printed books is the opposite thing. In printed books, it takes a lot amount of time for me to read just 1 or 2 pages, because I can just go through or like just see the page and just, okay, I have got the idea of this page. That doesn't happen while I read like the printed books. But that is the opposite case in case of ebooks. So while reading ebook, I read a bit fast. So that's one positive side I have seen in myself while reading the ebook. And second, I have started reading free books. Yes, I'm telling the truth. I have started reading free books, which is from online, and you can get such sites where they are just uploading free books, PDF or any other extension they want, and you can just download and read from them. You can also highlight them and also like search for words on them. So those are quite pretty, and also doesn't cost anything. So you don't have to buy like books from anyway apps like Books, which I have on my phone. So those are a little bit pricey. So that's on the cons part of, or the disadvantages of having or reading ebook. And the number one is they are little bit pricey. For example, let me show you one thing on like one book, which is like I'm going to show you how much pricey the ebooks are on the like Books app. So let me search for one book which I'm reading, is like Think Like a Monk. All right. So this book on the book app, sorry. All right, on the book app, it's nearly $14.99, like $15. So it's like in BDT price. Let me check. 15 into 85. All right, it's 1275 BDT. So that's much more pricey because I have the premium version of this book and I am reading it like in a printed way. So that costs nearly 800 to 900, the premium one that I have. But the ebook costs 1275 BDT, like in my country, in Bangladesh. So that's a little bit higher. So but I can read that ebook free on internet, so obviously I'm going for that. So for that reason. And the cons are sometimes, like, while reading ebook you will get a lot of distractions, like updates of your apps, then messages from your friends, then any type of calls or any type of distractions you'll be getting on your, like, electronic device. If it's not Kindle, I don't know about Kindle whether notifications comes there or not. So yes, there are also pros and cons of ebooks which I have faced, but I still like ebook, but not over printed books. Now we are going to talk about how you can choose the perfect way of reading for yourself. Like if you are confused between should I read printed books or should I read ebook, or either I can do both. So for that reason I have some points from myself which you can try to see which way you can read, like more speedily or more easily, or you are adapted to it, and also from which way you can retain more information, the main important point. So first point you can check from yourself, which is you have to see which way, like in which reading way you are adapted most to. Like for example, if you are having migraine, so you can't absorb that much of blue light for a longer time, so in that case you'll be obviously not choosing ebook or reading from electronic devices, you'll be choosing printed books. So for that reason you have to check whether you are adapted to that specific way or not, and after that, after checking that, you have to go for a conclusion. So next you have to see from which reading way you are able to retain more information. For example, one research I have seen, like which is according to the scientists, the act of running pages, like from reading the printed books while reading, creates an index in the brain, mapping information in a book to a particular page. By mapping the information this way, our brains are able to retain more of what we read. This actually explains that while reading from the printed books, you can actually create a map on your brain, or like an index in your brain of that specific book what you are reading, and for that reason you are, like, you can easily retain information from your brain. So that's what happens while reading a physical book. And next you have to also check this one, that in which way you can retain more information, like from ebook or from printed books or through audible books, which are also quite good, but I haven't tried. So next is, if you are a damn book lover, likes glossy covers, likes the premium pages and book covers, and also likes to store them on the bookshelves as I have said earlier, then you should, like, obviously go for like printed books, because you can't store ebooks on your bookshelf. So you obviously have to buy the printed books for storing them on the bookshelf. So these 3 points I have found out, like, you can choose. And now about my opinion, I still like the printed books very much, because I like to store books, as I have told earlier, and but I also read ebooks, but I still love printed books, yes, obviously. So if you have found this video useful and watched till the end, then thank you very much. And then if you like the other videos of this channel, you can check those out, and also subscribe this YouTube channel if you are new here. And thank you very much if you have already subscribed, and you can check out my other social media accounts. And thank you for now. Stay safe. Assalamu alaikum.